Why don't you just kind of give yourself an introduction, tell us who you are, and kind of what you do and who you serve.
Sure, no problem. My name is Trevor Steele, also known as MetTroyed on Twitch. So I have been streaming on Twitch for about, this will be, I think it's been 5 years now.
Nice.
I was going to say six, but it was actually 5 years. And at first when I did it, just did it like on the fly. I was just like, I'm not going to get very far with it. We'll just see how it goes. Because, I mean, a lot of people are doing it, and I was going to be at the very, very bottom. And so eventually, like in 1 year, out of me just streaming, I had over 500 followers, which was one of my goals, and I reached that in 1 year, which was amazing. I thought
Nice.
I was never going to do it. And it kind of changed my thinking a little bit when I was streaming. I kind of thinking like, you know what? Okay, all right, I can see this happening. It is a grind. It is a grind for sure. But so it kind of like changed my whole perspective where I just like streaming. I like doing it, and it's just been, so far it's just been really, really awesome. Be able to meet new people that came in, even though I'm a small streamer and everything else like that. Be able to interact with them on a more personal level. And I know eventually when I get more people coming in, like more viewers, I'm not going to be able to have that connection with them. But for me, it's just like socializing with people, everything else like that. When I'm streaming in real time, it's like I have like a more of a connection with them and everything.
Sure.
And so it kind of changed my whole perspective on how I did with streaming and everything. And so I am a Nintendo family-friendly streamer, and I stream from modern to retro and everything else like that. And I haven't been doing a lot of retro stuff, which I wish I could dive into that.
Nice. Nice. What games in particular are you playing right now?
So, oh wow, there's quite a few that I've been playing right now. One of them I've been diving into is there's a new roguelike TMNT game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. And by watching the whole thing, it definitely looked like I'm watching another version of Hades, but it's with turtles. And plus, not just that
Nice.
you're playing with one person, you also get to play with 4 other people on top of that. So it's not like you're just playing a single player game. You actually have people that are actually, joining the fun and everything, which is pretty cool. And the gameplay looks really great, and the voice acting is pretty good in it too. So I got the game, and I will be streaming the game on Sunday this weekend, actually.
Nice. Nice. That's cool. It sounds like a fun game. So I know you and I have talked in the past, and one thing that we talked about initially was your current weight loss journey. And I want to
Yes.
really dive into that. And if you want to kind of give us a quick TLDR on the overall origins, and then I want to get a follow up because I haven't talked with you about that in a little while. So it'd be
Sure,
kind of new
absolutely.
for both of us.
All right, so for me on my weight loss journey, I've been trying to lose weight for the last, I think this will be 5 years now. I think it's like 5 or 6. So when I first started, I noticed I was gaining a little weight, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and see if I can make that a personal goal. So I've been doing it by lifting weight at the very start. Once I started doing that, I didn't see any significant difference. And I was like, okay, this is not working. So maybe I'll try, something different. So what I did is I tried doing weight loss over-the-counter supplements. And so I tried using that along with my exercise and everything. Still no difference.
Sure.
And then I saw, okay, I need to start eating less. I can watch what I eat. I did that. Nothing is happening. So I tried many, many things, and I was like, okay, all right, I give up. There's nothing I can do about it. And so when I first started, I was at 300, and now I got up to 340, which was really bad, very bad. And I got up to 340 very quickly. And my family had a lot of concerns about it. So I think it was a few months I went to see the doctor regarding what I've been doing and everything. And so they put me on ADHD medication. So yes, I have ADHD, and it sucks. But also they gave me injections, they said they use these injections to help people lose weight. They said that they've seen a lot of results from it. And so they're like, okay, we're going to do it. Shockingly, I think in a month and a half, I went from 340 to 302 just from these injections and also from the ADHD medication. I think it was more of like a psyche thing. So kind of thinking of like temporal and spiritual in a way. The temporal things, you're thinking like, okay, I need to eat less, I need to exercise, which is a big factor. But for me, it was like more on the spiritual side of it, because like no matter how I tried doing this, it's not going to happen. So it was like it completely changed my psyche and everything. And sure enough, my mother, she actually saw some results. My gut slimmed down, and I just feel great. Like I've been doing the best I can to, just take it step by step. So that's what I've been doing.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. Sounds like you said, the temporal and the spiritual is kind of like the physical side of things, like eat better, exercise, and etc. But that mindset might not have been there, and it sounds like now with especially with the ADHD meds that really helped kind of hone you in and help you focus a little bit more, and then whatever weight loss meds you're on, that's kind of helping reduce your appetite because essentially that's what they do. So it sounds like it was a good
Right.
kind of combination to hit it from different angles to see good progress.
Yeah, for sure. And it's weird because, like, also I pretty much walk to work because I don't drive. When I walk onto the campus where I take the bus to get everything, it's like a 15-minute walk just to get there. And then when I go up to my work, that's another 15-minute walk. So I'm constantly walking, like, all the time because I also do janitorial work where I'm on my feet all the time too.
Right.
So kind of thinking in that perspective, like, okay, so you're on your feet almost all the time, and yet for some reason I can't lose weight. And I thought to myself, like, why is it that I can't lose weight from doing this either? Because I'm on my feet too. So not just I'm getting exercise at my work, but I'm also getting exercise at the gym on top of that. So yeah, I kind of like find that, ironic that why is it that I'm not losing weight when this factor comes in. So there's another thing also on top of that.
Sure. And I know you and I like aren't working together as far as coach client, but what did your diet look like prior to going to the doctor and get on these meds, and how does it look like now?
So let's just put it this way. I'm a huge foodie person because, I mean, it's been like this since I was like 2 years old. And so for food wise, let's just say it was a lot. Let's just put it that way. I'm not talking about like a lot as in like eat like 2 pizza boxes or whatever, because there's no way I can do 2 pizza boxes. So we're talking about maybe like having like 3 pieces of pizza or something like that, and then possibly maybe like 2 or 3 breadsticks, and then maybe like a water on the side of it. And then after that, after I'm done eating, I'll go back in the kitchen just to find something to snack on. So on top of that, so I wait for like a couple of hours and I go in there and find a snack or something. So it was quite a lot. And then before that, it's like it really changed how I started eating, because when I'm at work, they actually have like their own little like canteen or whatever where they have like Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A and all the other stuff. I usually just go there just to get whatever. Now I don't. So in my building that I'm working in, they actually have a vending machine where they fill it with sandwiches and everything else like that. So I went ahead and just like grabbed a sandwich and just a bag of Sun Chips and then just eat it for lunch that way, just to grab something quick. And then after that, I'm just done. And it actually does fill me up too, which is like surprisingly. So I forgot to mention is that so these shots that they gave me is supposed to make me feel like I'm actually full. That's kind of like the whole goal of it.
Yep.
And sure enough, yeah, it does make me feel like I'm full. And there are times where I'm sitting here like I can't finish this, and so I'm just sitting here like, okay, do you want this? And so yeah, it just from taking that, it just makes me feel full during the day. Or not. There's like times where I maybe eat like a third of my meal, or to eat half of it, and just give it to somebody else, and just give it to somebody else that wants it. So
Sure.
So yeah, like my diet is completely changed than previous, because previously before this happened, I would just finish the whole thing.
Right.
Those boxes that they have over at Taco Bell where they fill it like with a taco and then they put other stuff like
Yeah.
like drink and everything.
Like their value box type thing.
Yeah, like the value box sort of like thing. I would finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now when I go to Taco Bell, I don't finish the whole thing. I probably have maybe like the burrito and the taco, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't have anything else after that. So yeah, like my diet has completely changed, and sure enough, I'm seeing a lot of results. I'm sorry, I'm looking down my gut and just, I'm sorry, I'm being a little dramatic. And so
No, it's all right.
So anyway,
You're seeing good progress on that, and it's nice because one thing that you mentioned during our first call off screen was something about, and I want you to say it in your words, is there may have been some kind of underlying reluctance to reach out for help, and I want you to kind of talk through that mental dialogue that you had.
yes. So regarding with that, I deal with I deal with depression and anxiety. I've been diagnosed with chronic depression. And so regarding with mental health for me specifically is that I just gave up on it because I'm thinking like, there's just no way I can lose weight. There's nothing I can do. I've done everything possible, and it just spiraled me out of control. I just simply gave up. People that have been talking with me, especially my mom, there are times where she gives me hope on that, but yet I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't feel like there was any hope for me specifically because I tried everything I possibly could. But then once we, got to the doctor, he started talking with me and saying, hey, maybe we should try this and see if it works. And so I'm just like, I'm open for everything to see if it works, but I don't get my hopes up. But then later on when I found out about this is that when I saw results, everything else like that, I'm like, okay, so maybe there is hope for me. So yeah, like it completely changed some things. Do I still deal with mental issues? Yeah, absolutely. There's been people out there that deal with them too. If I were to talk to those people that have been trying to lose weight and they have like that mental state that I had, is that there is hope. There is hope. You're just going to have to find the right avenues and just reach out to your doctor and just talk with them. Because if you don't talk to your doctor about certain things, how do you expect the doctor to do their job if you can't tell them that there's something that's not working? They prescribe to you something. It's like, okay, if this is not working, you're not using it, then why are you not going back to your doctor to saying, hey, this prescription isn't working? So all I'm saying is that you're just going to have to find the right avenue and what suits best for you.
Sure. And I think the big underlying moral of that is don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there have been times where, I'm a lonely person, and I hate being lonely. I hate feeling like that. But I'm the type of person where, I hold on to hope and saying, hey, you know what? There's plenty of fish in the sea, like to be friends with. And there's also a future partner or a future wife to be with and everything. Like I said, you're just going to have to find the right avenues and stuff like that,
Yeah. And I think right now streaming is a good outlet for that. Like you said, now that you're doing it live and interacting with them in real time, it's a good way to connect with them and build that camaraderie rather than doing something like what we're doing now, which is recorded, to where I could only interact in the comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people I've actually been talking to, they're like, hey, what's the difference between what you're doing and YouTube? So YouTube does have streaming, but also the main thing about YouTube is that people make a video and then people comment on it, like you mentioned before. But streaming is that it's all done in real time. So you're actually broadcasting yourself live to people.
Yep.
And you'll see there is a chat where you get to interact with people. So like if they say something or whatever, you get to read their comment and you'll be able to actually talk about it in real time. And so people don't like talking on the camera because in streaming, you're constantly talking all the time. But in YouTube, you just need to make the video and then people comment on it. So you don't have to worry about, constantly talking. But I was thinking about like getting a YouTube setup because a lot of people have been telling me to do that. But at the same time, it's just like, I'm just so busy with everything that I just never have the time to do a YouTube. And so those are the significant differences between the two. And I think that was a better way to explain to people about, the difference between streaming and YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a client who's a full-time streamer, and he's in the same boat where, if you're streaming 8 hours a day, the last thing you want to do is take that 8-hour stream and find, 60 minutes worth of highlights and turn it into a YouTube video. And then even boil that down even more into a bunch of TikToks or Reels. And so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be a content creator. And me being an online coach, I dabble in that. I don't do like streams nor am I heavily invested into YouTube, but my main platform is Instagram. That's like my pretty much my website now. And so it's a lot and I don't like it. And so I've been working with other people to help aid me in content creation.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. Cool. One thing I was going to ask, and feel free to tell me if this is overstepping, but I know you said diagnosed with clinical depression. How has the 40-ish pound weight loss had an effect on that, if anything?
For me, it's been great, and sometimes it hasn't. But people have their rainy days. I'm the type of person where I would say, hey, I'm just having a bad day. Just let it all out, and then I just let it go after that. And so I try my best to let it happen and then let it go, and then just continue on with the day after that. But regarding the weight and everything, I don't feel any significant difference. The place that I'm actually working at right now it's just a great atmosphere. So I work on the Brigham Young University campus, and their campus is just amazing campus. Like I can't explain that any other way. But so once I got on the campus and everything else like that, like there's, I think it was during the Christmas time actually in 2018. Every time when I'm walking home, I had tears in my eyes, and I came home and my mom was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I told him, I says, "Mom, I don't want to leave this place. I don't want to leave it." Because the previous jobs I had before working here is that it was just say that the atmosphere and everything else like that was just, it was hectic. I had to deal with people that, that make me feel like I'm the scapegoat. And it's just like, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with it. Mm-hmm. And so I've been on the campus for about 5 years now, going to be 6 and then be 6 years starting in November of this year. And I just love it. I love every minute of it. They treat me so well. And for me, being there and everything else like that, it's just that I have a good job and everything else like that. And what more can I say? What more can I say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's awesome that you have a job like that. Not a lot of people can say that they are happy to have the job that they have.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that people are going through jobs like that and whatever. And I'm saying this right now is that this is not my place to brag, and I'm not. If I was bragging, I am sorry. I'm not trying. That's not what I was trying to do. It's just I was just trying to make an example of there is a lot of people out there that are dealing with a lot of mental health issues, even on my streams. And I do have a Discord for my community as well, where I get in touch with people there too. And so I wanted my Discord, not just for gaming and stuff like that, people can post things, but I also want people to, interact with people and everything else like that. That's why I want to do that. So that way, if someone is dealing with something, that we can talk with them and help them get through it and whatever. So it's kind of like that sort of thing too. And so, but since that we had issues in the past with the Discord and whatever, we had to completely change everything. So, but yeah, it's just been, like I said, if you're dealing with something, please, you owe it to yourself to reach out to people if you're dealing with anything or whatever. And so that's what I recommend to people.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree 1,000% because, like you said earlier, if you're having a bad day, you try to kind of purge that negative energy, and then you can kind of remove yourself from it or say, okay, I purge my energy, the negative energy, and now I'm good. A lot of people will hold that in and let it kind of fester, let that negativity fester, and that can manifest into a lot of things, like either like more surface level stuff like poor sleeping habits, poor eating habits, and then weight gain. But it can also fester into other physical things like chronic illness or like autoimmune disease and stuff like that, because all of that stress, although it's psychological, does have physical manifestations in the body. And so if you just sit there and hold on to it and let it, kind of suppress it and let it fester, it just gets worse. And so either having some form of outlet, some of my clients will do like journaling, some will do meditation, just reaching out to people, like you said, somebody that you can find in a safe space or somebody that you can confide in, just to even talk or seek a mental health professional. Or like you said, have a community of like-minded people who are kind of all traveling a similar path, that you feel safe to have like that community aspect. And so all of those things can definitely help, and they don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can kind of pick and choose what works for you and do a little bit of everything, and just do something you can to kind of release that negative energy, so that way it doesn't physically manifest like autoimmune disease and other chronic health issues that we see.
And I think another way, to put it in more perspective is that kind of think of it like a cork in a bottle. And you take that bottle and you shake it. What's gonna happen inside of the bottle? It's gonna fizz up, and it has that build up, like that gas is gonna build and build and build in the bottle until the more you shake it, the cork is gonna pop off. Yep. So, but just put it in that perspective. with that analogy is that don't let that cork come off that bottle. I mean, that's another way to put it with that analogy.
Yeah, yeah. Don't let that pressure build to where it eventually hits a breaking point.
Or if you want to, if you think of a bucket, but the more water you put in that bucket, what's going to happen? It's going to overflow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another analogy too.
Sure. Awesome. One last question I like to ask is, if you could create a character sheet for yourself in real life, what class would you be?
Oh wow! If I was a class, what would I be?
Mm-hmm. I normally do this in D&D terms, but since you're a video gamer,
Mm-hmm.
we can do either one.
Okay, let's see. I know for me specifically, I'm not a fighter. I would not say I would. So there's no way I would be able to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. I probably, for me being a D&D character, I probably would be an innkeeper.
Okay. So like a commoner. What about like a class? Like one of the classes?
One of the classes.
Yeah,
a bartender. What do you think?
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Because I can see like, or that maybe I could be I could be a blacksmith.
Okay.
Make weapons for or whatever or something like that. You know.
Okay.
Because I was trying to think of a class that, like, because people think of like, oh, I want to be a fighter, I want to be a wizard, I want to be this or whatever. For me specifically, I have to think of myself like, okay, if I was in this world, and I thought about, okay, my personality, everything else like that, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it wouldn't be an innkeeper or a blacksmith. Actually.
Awesome, Trevor. Well, hey, I appreciate you hopping on, and I love this story. Definitely keep up on your journey. It sounds like you've tried everything in the past, and that this weight loss medicine, and on top of the ADHD, I think that was a good combination that the doctors put you on. Seems like that was a good path, and so I do agree, and I want to reiterate that if somebody's struggling for whatever reason, definitely reach out. I know when you and I spoke our first time, you said that you were reluctant to reach out for help or even ask your doctor for help. And so reaching out for help can be quite literally life-changing, like you said. Awesome, man. I appreciate you hopping on. And until next time.